What a journey. Oh my gosh.
What a journey indeed. Yep.
Let's start at the beginning because you recognized Asia. Like, what are the odds? How did you feel being like, oh my God, I know her?
She was literally the first person I saw in the lobby of the hotel before we even flew to Fiji. And I said, that is Asia Welch from Rob Has a Podcast. And I was fangirling, first of all. I was like, I've literally like eaten Chipotle while listening to this girl talk about like Survivor before, and now she's here. And I was so excited because I got to know before like the community knew that she was going to be on it, and I could already like anticipate like the boom that would happen when she was going on. But I also, of course, did have immediate like, okay, what if she's on my tribe? What am I going to do? What am I going to say? And like, it did complicate the experience for me out there. And it was crazy, but so fucking cool. Oops, so can I swear? So
It's
cool to
fine. Yeah.
play with Asia out there.
So we saw you lose ally after ally after ally. It was like, how many allies can you lose but still survive? Was there a vote out that was the hardest?
Without a doubt, it was Saul. I
Hmm.
mean, like, he was my best friend out there. We had so much fun. He was like a walking sigh of relief for me every time he came around camp. He was great. We brought such a similar like skill set to the game that I think is like it's special because like I think we were able to connect with people in a cool way that only we could, and I think that was really powerful, and I really saw a lot of potential for us to go to the end, and I really had such big desires of me, him, and Genevieve sitting at the end. That's what I wanted. That's really, really what I wanted. And I felt so on top of the world and like we really could do it. And then in one foul swoop, I find out Saul's going home, and I find out that Genevieve's the one who orchestrated it. And it was like an ego death. It was like mourning the loss of like this man who I never wanted to know what playing Survivor was like without. And that just really, really, really hurt. It was painful, and it was like sobering, and it changed the course of the experience for me forever.
Was there a moment when you felt like you had to change your game, or were you kind of always evolving your game?
I feel like I was always evolving my game. There was always an awareness where I knew there had to be a moment where it changed, right? Like I wanted it to change because for so long it was going so poorly. Um, but that's not the way it went. And I have peace with that now. I find humor in it in many ways now. But it was certainly always evolving, and I was always just trying to adapt to the round that was there. And I could say I was trying to, play optimally for every single round, but like I also am aware enough to know that I was super emotional, and that drove a lot of my decision making out there too. And that's something that, I've learned about myself from this experience. So, and even though the game didn't necessarily go the ways that I wanted it to, it was more like an evolution of personhood that's still going on through like watching it back today and everything like that. And that's like a priceless thing to get out of this.
You were incredibly self-aware to be able to like connect the struggles in the game with real life struggles. Like, how did that feel to be going through all of that?
It was a lot, but it was harder when I was like shutting it down. It was harder when I wasn't allowing myself to be reflective and like introspective about it, which is the moment where you see me kind of lash out about Sam after the reward. Like that was it coming out and manifesting in like a way of vitriol. And that was a lot harder to watch back than to watch me actually assess it within myself. And in my real world, like I like to write a lot, and I process feelings through writing, and I feel like I have a lot more obviously time alone to like think through things. So I really am proud of the fact that I was able to find the time and the space like within me to like sit down and acknowledge what was going on within me. And I'm proud that I was able to speak to it because like it's so different for, if I were to watch it back and try and like make these claims, it's like, well, I had the time or whatever. I'm really proud that out there I was able to like really figure it out. And forever I'll be able to have that and know that like that's how I was feeling. That's the transition I was going through. It's on Survivor. It's cemented in the world. It's a part of the zeitgeist now, and that's really special for me to see.
This fire making, what the heck?
You know.
That was wild. I mean, can you even like were you aware enough to like feel your fire is growing and then it's just like not burning the rope? What talk me through this?
I mean, yeah, it's like the definition of insanity. Like just doing the thing I know I need to do, adding the sticks, the fire's burning, and it's just not burning the rope. It's just, I'm watching it on this part of the rope, I'm watching it on this part of the rope, I'm watching it be completely horizontal. How much more can I do? Like I'm running out of sticks. It felt just like pure desperation, like just pure, like fleeting desperation, and panic and like it was insane. It was out of body in many ways. Like I blacked some of it out, but I just remember looking over and seeing that his was directly burning straight up on the rope and being like, wow, this is really happening right now. I'm about to lose fire. But I am at peace with it. I really am.
I mean, you did it. Like, what else? There's nothing else you can do. That's
Exactly.
just the fate of Survivor, I guess. I mean, you're a super fan. You've watched this show. What was the most surprising thing about actually playing the game from what you thought going in?
I think it goes back to how much of a fan I am. It was hard sometimes to shut the fan in me off. I'm playing with like Genevieve. Genevieve is somebody who I'm watching the show at home and I'm not on the season. I am guns blazing rooting for. I am like obsessed with her gameplay. So sometimes it was hard to like see her as an adversary and not someone who I was just awestruck by in the game of Survivor. Like in everything, like even when Operation Italy happened, I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible for my game. This is not good at all. Yet I'm so like thrilled by this move and I'm so excited for like people to see it. And I think that was something unexpected for me, was like just how much my like love for the game persisted even as playing it in a way of like observation, of just like appreciating what's going on around me. That was a hard line to draw sometimes.
So, can you even sum up this whole experience for you?
I mean, I literally for like the past 15 years, this has been like my favorite thing on earth. Like I'm wearing a Survivor buff in my driver's license photo. I wore a Survivor buff every single day of high school. Having Survivor in my life has like taught me how to move around in the world, and it will forever feel surreal. It will forever be a dream come true. It will forever be something I can look back on as I grow and I change and I evolve and like feel proud of. And it's the greatest thing I've ever done, and I'm just it is hard to sum up, of course, but it is like I'm just so grateful and so relieved to be on the flip side of it now, where I can process it differently and talk about it openly, and I'm just so grateful.
Does the edit help you process, or does it take a few steps back?
It does help me process. Like even
Mhm.
when it's hard to watch, it's like, no, I need to see this though. And like even the conversations online, like I'm not a masochist. I'm not like seeking out the people who are like berating me, but I'm also like listening to what's being said. And I feel like some of the criticisms and like that's actually accurate. And like those are things I can work on. And like that wouldn't happen without, the edit being what it was and the show being what it was. And so, um, yeah, it's, it's just nice that it's complete now. It's whole. And I think it rounded out in a really cool way for me at the end, in a way that like I'm gonna have to continue processing, but I'm happy with the edit and all of the ways it's like allowed me to see myself.
I loved your edit. I loved watching you. You were so fun to root for. I'm so, congratulations for making it all the way to fourth place. What an absolute ride. I hope you feel good about it.
I do. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good, good, good. Thank you so much for your time today.
Of course.